This is Ankita Agarwal. I am here to present, taught you the subject, that is computer graphics, and my topic is introductory concepts of spline and Hermite interpolation. Now we will discuss the topics of spline, interpolation, what is a curve, and all the points are discussed today. Now we will start with the first topic, that is spline representations. Before going to the spline representation, first we define what is curve. Curve is basically infinite set of points, that are joined together, and each point has a neighbor, a corresponding neighbor, except the endpoints. Endpoints do not have the neighbor, but all rest of the points have the neighbor. Suppose we have these points and we join it by a line, then we get a curve. So you can say that the 2 points that are joining each other, suppose this is a line, this is also a curve. Okay? It's okay, that is any point you will join like this and join these points, and these points will form a curve. So before going to the spline, we define the curve. What is curve? To curve, that means curve is any point that you join, this forms a curve. Curve can be represented in many forms. Curve can be represented in explicit form, implicit form, and parametric form. There are 3 ways to represent any curve. In explicit form y is equal to f of x, that means function of x. Y is a parameter which is dependent on the x parameter, that is defined by a explicit form of curve. In implicit form of curve, that is f of x comma y is equal to 0. That means suppose you will take a curve, that is circle. The equation of circle is x square plus y square minus r square is equal to 0. That is implicit form of curve. But in parametric form of curve, what is that? Ki there is a parameter. Suppose there is a parameter u parameter. On the basis of u parameter, the curve is defined. Curve has some points. Suppose this is a point, this is a point, this is a point. These points are defined by the coordinate x comma y comma z. That is x, y, z is the point that is defined this point. So in the parametric form, x is defined by x of u, y is defined by y of u, and z is defined by z of u. This is the parametric form. In all the 3 x, y, z, there is a dependency on u parameter. Now we will explain about spline. What is a spline? So spline is a something, you can say that any curve, any smooth or a flexible strip, that is a wooden strip. Earlier that was used in a designing of the ships. In computer graphics, spline is a smooth curve defined mathematically using a set of constraints. Means there is a set of conditions, some set of conditions which defines the spline. Splines are used in different graphics applications. In many graphics applications, we are using the spline curves. The first application is to design curve and surface shapes. In designing the curve and the shapes of the surfaces, we used splines. Next, to digitize drawings for computer storage. For the digitization of the drawings, like you suppose draw the charts and bar graphs, all are designed by the splines. Next is the animation. In animation field, we also use spline curves, and in the CAD application, CAD means computer aided designs like automobile designings, aircraft designing, spacecraft designing, all will be done by the spline, and in these applications we use splines. Next come to the topic interpolation and approximation splines. What is interpolation and approximation splines? A spline curve is specified using a set of control points. Now what is control points? Control points is basically a set of coordinate positions that define the general shape of the curve. Suppose these are the points, and for defining that curve you connect all these points. So these are the coordinate positions. These are the coordinate positions which define the curve. So, a spline curve is specified using a set of control points, and control point is nothing but a set of coordinate positions that define the general shape of the curve. There are two ways to fit a curve to these points. There are two ways so that the curve is fitted in these points. First is the interpolation and second is the approximation. What is interpolation? In interpolation, the curve passes through all the control points. Like here you see, you can see that there are control points and the curve passes through all these control points. And in approximation, the curve does not passes through all the control points. The curve only follows the path of the control points. So, in interpolation, the curve passes through all the control points, and in approximation, the curve only follows the path, not passes through all the control points. This is the basic difference between interpolation and approximation curves and approximation spline curves. We are defining both like interpolation curves and approximation curves in the later part. Next, come to the parametric continuity conditions. Before explaining parametric continuity conditions, first define what is continuity. If we want to join two curves, suppose this curve and we want to join these two curves. For joining these two curves, we need some kind of smoothness in the curve, because I have already explained that spline is a smooth curve. For the smoothness, we have to define some continuity conditions. That means this curve is smooth or not. So, that is why there are two types of continuity conditions, that is parametric continuity and the second one is geometric continuity. First, we explain parametric continuity. What is parametric continuity? If each section of a spline is described with a set of parametric coordinate functions of the form. Now, in this parametric continuity, each section of a spline is described with a set of parametric coordinate functions. I have already told you what is parametric form of the curve. In parametric form of the curve, this x is equal to x of u, y is equal to y of u and z is equal to z of u. And there is a constraint condition, that is u lies between, this parameter u lies between u1 and u2. u1 and u2 may be 0 or 1, 0 or 2, something like that. Parametric continuity can be said by matching the parametric derivatives of adjoining curve sections at their common boundary. Now, this is the common boundary of the two curves. We can we can equate these two curves, we can solve these curves whether they are continuous or not in this boundary. Suppose this is a curve and this is a curve and we want to check whether they are continuous or not, then we have to find out that P of 0 and this is a suppose Q curve Q of 1. If they are equal, then there is a 0 order parametric continuity. One thing, parametric continuity is always given by C. 0 order, that why C of 0, first order, that is why C of 1, second order, that is why C of 2. Now, first order, in 0 order parametric continuity, simply we will check first curve at the point 0. 0 means value of u is, put the value of u is 0, and for the second curve put the value of u is 1. If both are equal, then there is a 0 order parametric continuity. For the first order parametric continuity, find out the first order derivative, means whatever be the equation, find out the first derivative of the first equation, first curve, and the first order derivative of the second curve. If both the equations are equal, first order derivative of the first curve and first order derivative of the second curve, if both are equal, then we can say that there is a first order parametric continuity. Similarly, for the second order parametric continuity, we want to check the second order derivative, find out the second order derivative. If the second order derivative of both the curves are equal, then in that case there is a second order parametric continuity. One thing more I would like to say here, that if the curve is first order parametric continuous, then it must be 0 order continuous. Similarly, here If the curve is second order parametric continuous, then it must be 0 and first order continuous already. Next come to the geometric continuity. Geometric continuity only requires parametric derivative of two sections to be proportional to each other at their common boundary instead of equal to each other. Here in geometric continuity refers to the shape or looks of this curve. That means what the curve looks like is defined by the geometric continuity. So in this case, whatever we find, whatever 0 order geometric continuity or first order, second order, whatever the derivatives we find, we just check whether they are proportional to each other or not. We will not check about the equality of each other. Just we check the proportionality. Here the term proportionality is used, that means the curve must be proportional to each other at their common boundary, not equal to each other. Equality will be checked in the parametric derivative, parametric continuity. Next come to the spline specifications. What is a spline specifications? That means ki how we define the spline. For defining the spline, the first three conditions should be met. The first condition is the boundary conditions that are imposed on the spline. What are the boundary conditions that are imposed on the spline? The second one is matrix that characterizes the spline. What matrix you use to characterizing the spline? And the third one is your blending function or the basis function. That means how you will calculate all the control points. First come to the, suppose we have a cubic curve equation for the x coordinate. I have already told you that if you have a point something like this, these points are joined. Suppose this is a point whom you call as a coordinate or a control point. See, this point is x, y, z coordinate. So you have to define the cubic curve for all the three, that is x, y and z. Here we have taken only for x coordinate, similarly for y coordinate and similarly for z coordinate. One thing more here I would like to tell you that why we are taking cubic curve. We are taking cubic curve because cubic curve provides the flexibility and less computation. If we take the curve second order parametric curve, then in that case there the flexibility is less because the second order parametric curve is like parabola, only parabola, and in cubic there is a curve equation. That is why we are taking cubic curve. And one thing more, that is complexity. If we are taking higher order curves, that is 4th degree curve or a 5th degree curve, then in 4th order and 5th order there is a high computation. That means we need a more complex calculations. To avoid the more complex calculation, we are taking cubic curve equations over here. Suppose the cubic curve equation is written like this for the x coordinate, that is ax u cube plus bx u square plus cx u plus dx. In the matrix form, it can be written as u cube, u square, u1, and these 4 parameters, that is ax, bx, cx and dx parameters. These are the parameters which you have to calculate while defining the curve. So the general form of xu is u dot m spline dot m geometric. M spline is spline transformations, that is blending functions, and m geometric is geometric constraints. M geometric is geometric constraints or the control points. So these are the parameters, and then spline transformation, what is the blending function of the curve and what are the control points of the curve. These are all defined with the spline specifications. So the spline specifications can be given by boundary conditions that are imposed on the spline, then matrix that characterizes the spline, and the third one is the blending function or the basis function. Next come to the what is natural cubic spline. It is a mathematical representation of the original drafting spline. It is a how we draft the spline is the natural cubic spline. It is formulated by requiring that two adjacent curve sections have the same first and second order parametric derivatives at their common boundary. I have already told about parametric derivatives. So you will check that the curve must be C2 continuity. That means curve must be second order continuous in a natural cubic spline. The major disadvantage of the natural cubic spline is that in a natural cubic spline, it has no local control. What is the meaning of local control? Local control means that if you change any control point, suppose you change the position of P1 like this, here, the whole curve will be changed. Now the whole curve will be changed. That means if you change one control point, the whole curve will be changed. That means you have to calculate all the control points again. That is why we are saying that there is no local control. This is the major disadvantage of the natural cubic spline, that natural cubic spline allows no local control. No local control means if we change any one control point, then the whole curve will be changed. That means you have to calculate all the control points again and again. If you want to change this control point, suppose you change the position of the P2 over here, then P1, P0, P1 and then P2, and then the next of the control points will be calculated again. So, there is a high calculations that if you change one point, then you have to calculate rest of the points again and again. Next, come to the Hermite interpolation. Before going to the Hermite interpolation, first we will define the term interpolation. What is interpolation? Interpolation means we have a set of known values and we have to calculate some unknown value. Suppose there is a line whose coordinates, this coordinates are known and this is also known. The coordinates of the 2 points are known and you have to find some coordinates on this line here, here and here. Then this is called as an interpolation. When we are going to find some unknown value between the two known values, that is called as a interpolation. Interpolation means that you have to calculate the value of unknown parameter between the two known values. This is called as an interpolation. So, Hermite interpolation is an interpolating piecewise cubic polynomial with a specified tangent at each control point. It is also a interpolation method for piecewise cubic polynomial, and here we specified a tangent at each control point. I have already told you about the control point, that control point is a set of coordinate positions that defines the general shape of the curve. So, this is the control point and this is a control point. Pk and Pk plus 1 are the control point which is known, and you have to find out the Pu, value of Pu. Pu is defined by xu, yu and zu, where u is the parameter, as we are defining all the curves in the parametric form. First, for the defining any spline, we have to define 3 basic spline specification. The first spline specification is the boundary condition, second is the matrix that characterizes that spline, and the third is the blending function. Here we define all the 3 conditions. The first one is your boundary conditions. If Pu represents a parametric cubic point function for the curve section between control points Pk and Pk plus 1, here Pk and Pk plus 1 are the control points, then boundary conditions that define Hermite curve. What is the boundary condition that define the Hermite curve is P0, that means first curve at 0 point is Pk, second curve at first, that means last point, this is the first point, this is the last point, first point is Pk and the last point is Pk plus 1, tangent at both the points, that is P dash 0 is dPk and P dash 1 is dPk plus 1. This is the tangent at both these points, where dPk and dPk plus 1 are the parametric derivatives at control points Pk and Pk plus 1 respectively. dPk and dPk plus 1 are the tangents or the parametric derivatives. That means you have to find out the derivatives of these over here. Now you have to calculate the matrix form, Hermite boundary conditions in the matrix form. How you calculate this matrix? come on this slide, that is spline specifications. Here I have already told you that xu is equal to u cube, u square, u and 1. In Hermite interpolation, the matrix is pk, first control point, pk plus 1, then dpk and dpk plus 1. This is the basically your 4 boundary conditions. Pk is the first point, that means pk is p of 0. P of 0 means substitute the value of u 0 over here. When you substitute the value 0 over here, you will get the matrix 0, 0, 0 and 1. Now, for pk plus 1 is nothing but p of 1. In p of 1, then substitute the value of u as 1 over here. When you substitute the value 1 over here, the value of u is 1 over here, then you get 1, 1, 1, 1. Now, what is dpk? dpk is the derivative of the curve. Derivative means when you find the derivative of this, you will get 3u square, 2u, 1 and 1. Now, for dpk, you will substitute the value of u as 0. Now, substitute the value of u as 0, you will get 0, 0, 1, 1. In dpk plus 1, that means ki dpk plus 1 is p dash of 1. That means in this derivative, you have to give the value of u as 1. That means substitute the value of u as 1. When you substitute the value of u as 1, you will get 3, 2, 1, 1. This is your matrix. Here you can see that pk, pk plus 1, dpk, dpk plus 1 is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 3, 2, 1, 0. And now A, B, C, D are the 4 parameters. A, B, C, D. Now you have to calculate the 4 parameters, as I have told you earlier that you have to calculate the 4 parameters, that is A, B, C and D. How you will calculate A, B, C and D? Just do the inverse of this matrix, inverse of this matrix into this matrix, okay. Then you will get here, this is M of H. This is your Hermite matrix. This matrix is known as Hermite matrix. Now, when you will calculate, you will calculate the value of Pu. You will get this equation, that is Pk 2u cube minus 3u square plus 1. How you will get? First, you will find the inverse of this matrix and then multiply it with this matrix. After multiplication, you will get Pk 2u cube minus 3u square plus 1, Pk plus 1 minus 2u cube plus 3u square plus dPk, u cube minus 2u square plus u and dPk plus 1, u cube minus u square. Now, this is the Hermite function, that is h0u, this is h1u, this is h2u and this is h3u. Now, the polynomials hku for k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 are referred to as blending function, and these polynomials are referred to as blending functions. Blending function means when you substitute, suppose your curve lies between 0 to 1, suppose your curve lies between 0 to 1, and when you substitute the value in between 0 to 1, suppose you substitute the value of u is equal to 0.2, put the value of u as 0.2 over here and you will get the control point from which you define the curve. That means at 0.2 find the value, at 0.4 define the value, at 0.6, 0.8, or you will take any value between 0 and 1, and after taking some values, you will get a values of the control points, and when you get the control points, you will define the curve, you will plot your curve, that curve is called as a Hermite curve. This is all about your curve, this is all about your introductory concepts of spline, Hermite curves, and what I have told today, that is, first of all, what is spline, then second, what is continuity conditions, that is parametric continuity, geometric continuity. Then we will discuss about the spline specifications, what are the basic specifications you give for defining the spline, that is your boundary conditions, matrix representation, and then there is a blending function. Then we will discuss about natural splines, what is the natural cubic splines. Then we will discuss about Hermite interpolation, that is what is Hermite curves, Hermite interpolation, and all that we have explained. Okay, thank you so much.